Welcome, class. The lesson which we are going to study today is Journey to the End of the Earth, written by Tishani Doshi. First of all, introduction. The lesson revolves around the world's most preserved place, that is Antarctica. Not many people have been there out of the few that have. Tishani Doshi is one of them. Tishani Doshi is an Indian person who went on an expedition with a group of teenagers affiliated with Students on Ice program, which takes young minds to different ends of the world. Thus, it gives an insight into how Antarctica is the place you should visit to have a glimpse of the past, present, and future in its realistic form. Now comes the summary of the lesson. The writer says, it is in first person narration. The writer is telling everything. For a South Indian man traveling to Antarctica from Madras, it takes 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 water bodies, and just as many ecospheres to reach there. Tishani Doshi traveled to the southern end of the earth along with an expedition group named Students on the Ice that provides opportunity to the young minds to sensitize towards the realistic version of climatic change happening in our world. According to the founder of the organization, we are the young versions of the future policy makers who can turn the situation around, because these young minds, these teenagers who are the future of the world, they only can turn the situation around. And Antarctica is one of the coldest, driest, and windiest continent in the world. As far as the eyes can see, it is completely white, and its uninterrupted blue horizon gives immense relief. It is shocking to believe that India and Antarctica were part of the same supercontinent named Gondwana that got segregated into countries, giving rise to the globe we know today. The writer here is telling that it is a surprising thing to know that India and Antarctica were the part of the same landmass, same supercontinent named Gondwana, and they got separated into countries, giving rise to the globe. The globe which we know these days, it was then created. Antarctica had a warmer climate until then. Despite human civilization around the globe, it still remains in its pure form, being a South Indian sun worshipper guy. The writer here is telling that this place is Antarctica is a place that it is still untouched. It is still in its pure form. And the writer being a South Indian sun worshipping guy, it was unimaginable for the author to visit the place that constitutes world's 90% of ice, because in South India the climate is completely opposite, completely different, and Antarctica, you can't imagine what kind of place it is. A place so quiet that it is only interrupted by snow avalanches. The place is very quiet, only the sound of snow avalanches disturb the silence. It is a home to a lot of evidences that can give us a glimpse of the past. At the same time, Antarctica helps us foresee the future as well. If you see Antarctica, you get a glimpse of our past, that from where we have reached to this thing, this form of earth, and you also foresee the future. The place gives an awakening to threatening alarm that global warming is actually real. When you see Atlantica, then you realize the actual threat of global warming, how it is harming us. Who knows if Antarctica will be warm again, and even if it does, will we be alive to see it? It is writer's concern that imagine what happens if Antarctica becomes warm again, and if does actually, then will we be alive to see this? A visit to Antarctica makes it quite clear that there one can see the ice shells melting. Students on ice program is headed by Canadian Jeff Green. He aims at organizing this program by taking high school students to the end of the world, different ends of the world. He thinks it most essential to provide the students with inspiring educational opportunities to know more about the Antarctica. This is the reason why students are taken there regularly. Through this, they will generate a new understanding and respect for our planet. Earlier, Jeff Green had organized program with celebrities and rich people which gave him back only in a limited way because these people could not contribute to the aim which this person was thinking of. Since the students are young minds and full of adventurous activities, they can learn, act, and absorb much by visiting the Antarctica. They can continue the legacy of taking care of our environment, but not those rich people who were being taken by the organizer previously. The people, rich people, and celebrities, they could not contribute to his aim, so he decided to take children. They can see through their own eyes glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing. They can realize the future dangers because he wanted the students, he wants the future leaders to understand what is the threat we are going through, catastrophic effects of climatic changes and the global warming. The Antarctica provides the young students a perfect place to study the varied changes occurring in the environment. These little changes can have significant consequences. The students can see those grasses of the sea that flourish, nourish, and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. There, the students can also see the moss or the grass which grows in the sea and is the only mean of flourishing and nourishing the entire southern ocean's food chain. Thus, the program provides a lively study of changes and the realities going on the Antarctica. Antarctica has a simple ecosystem and lacks biodiversity. It is the best place to study how little changes in the environment can have big consequences. This line actually is related to one of the questions given in the book also. This line is important. The author gives the example of very small single-celled plants called phytoplanktons, which nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. The writer here is mentioning the phytoplanktons who are single celled and how are they responsible to cater the needs of the southern ocean's food chain. The phytoplanktons use the energy to absorb carbon and also synthesize various organic compounds through photosynthesis. These are the plants, phytoplanktons. They are responsible for photosynthesis to cater all the demands of the area. Scientists have forewarned that if ozone layer depletes any further, it will have a direct impact on the activities of the phytoplanktons. This will lead to a chain reaction adversely affecting the lives of marine animals and birds of the region, which will further result in the disturbance of global carbon cycle. The writer says that if we take care of the little things, then as a whole we can take care of bigger things as well. He is giving example of here phytoplanktons. He is telling that phytoplanktons are responsible for all the photosynthesis and food production which is needed for the whole ecosystem of the area. And writer also warns that if ozone layer depletes any further, it will have a direct impact on the activities of the phytoplanktons, which will adversely affect the lives of marine animal and the birds of the region, which as a result obviously we will also be affected. So, it is expected of man to pay special attention to tiny forms of animal and plant life and prevent the depletion of ozone layer by reducing carbon dioxide emissions. If we take care of small things, big things will automatically fall into place. Antarctica is a place to go to understand Earth's present, past, and future. 650 million years ago, the present day Antarctica was surrounded by a giant amalgamated southern supercontinent called Gondwana. Thus, Antarctica belongs to the ancient geological era where human beings had not yet evolved. The climate was warm in the continent and supported a huge variety of flora and fauna. Later, the dinosaurs were wiped out and mammals began to evolve. At this juncture, Gondwana got separated into countries, so to visit Antarctica is now to be a part of that history. It is to understand the significance of Cordilleran folds and Precambrian granite shields, ozone and carbon evolution and extinct. In past, how these things were there, this also you understand if you visit Antarctica. Since the planet is unravaged by human population and civilization, it remains relatively pristine. Its ice cores hold more than half million year old carbon records which are useful for the study of past, present and future of the planet. The writer here says that this place of the planet is unravaged by human population and civilization. It remains relatively pristine. Pristine means old. Its ice cores have the records of older than half million year in the form of carbon records, and with the help of that we can study the past, present and future of the planet as well. We can realize the threat of global warming by seeing glaciers melting and ice shelves collapsing. We can compare that what is the speed of ice melting. Antarctica is the best place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions. Phytoplanktons nourish and sustain the entire southern ocean's food chain. Further depletion in the ozone layer would surely affect it. We did it previously and we are repeating it here also. We are revising it here. It could also lead to the end of the world. In this way, it suggests future possibilities about our planet. Now we'll talk about the title, how the title is appropriate. The title, Journey to the End of the Earth, has more than one meaning. It describes an educational journey to Antarctica undertaken by groups of high school students to learn more about the real impact of global warming and the future of the Earth. 52 students went to the coldest, driest, windiest continent in the world called Antarctica in a Russian research vessel. And the name of the vessel was Academic Shukalsky. The author calls it a journey to the end of the earth because it began 13.09 degree north of equator in Madras, involved crossing 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 oceans and 3 ecospheres. She traveled over 100 hours in combination of a car, airplane and a ship. The journey, being to the extreme south of the earth, is really towards the end of it. Another meaning of the title is more significant as the warning that Antarctica gives us shocking and much concerning the humanity and the million of other species on the earth. The changes taking place in Antarctica are pointing a warning finger at the existence of the earth. The earth is journeying to its end. I hope you understood it. Thank you everyone for watching.